Hello, my name is Tommy, and this is my testimony. But first, I need to show you something. For some of you that don't know what this is a Bluetooth headset device that I use with my phone. I'm told I'm hard of hearing, so I use this. I put it in my ears and I can talk to people and hear them a whole lot better. When I first got this, I tried to connect it to my phone and use it to call people using the Bluetooth method. Well, I found out that didn't work. With my phone and this headset, I'd say, "Call Pete," and the phone would say, "Calling the fire department." So I'd have to scramble to get the fire department to keep them from coming to my house. And 1 out of 25 times it might work, but that was about it. But that's part of my story for later on. What happened to me on Good Friday this past year was I was out in the yard getting ready to cut my grass, getting my lawnmower ready. I had just finished sharpening the blades and was putting everything up, had the blades back on the lawnmower, and had my grinder. I use it outside because it's a lot safer that way. So I was taking it back inside, and then as I turned to come out, I tripped and fell forward with both feet trapped on something in the shop. I hit my head on the cabinet and fell. Well, it turns out I broke my left shoulder bone. I broke my right hand, and what later took 8 stitches to sew up the gash in my head. So I'm laying there on the floor, finally getting some of my senses back, and I could feel the blood running down my head, so I knew I was bleeding, but I didn't think it would be that bad. I'm laying there trying to figure out anything that I can do because I can't get up. I've got to go get help, but I can't get up to get help. And I don't think anybody's going to be checking on me anytime soon. So I'm going through all the different options that I've got, and come to find out I don't have any options. And finally, I just said, "Lord, I need your help. I don't know what to do." Well, I finally wound up being able to sit up, and I had this Bluetooth device on from where I was using it in my van where I just come back from the store a little while ago. My phone was still in the van. I forgot and left it in there. So I says, "Well, I'll try it and see." Well, I couldn't make a connection because the phone was too far away from the headset, and I can't get up. So what I do is start scooting across the floor to the workshop, expecting a splinter at each slide, but it didn't happen. And I slid my way to the outside, got out in the doorway and got down on the ground, still doing the butt scooting boogie across the ground until I could see my van where my phone was. And I tried my Bluetooth again. I says, "Well, even if it calls the fire department, at least I can get somebody to get help to me." And that's what I did. I tried the phone. I tried to call Karen. I got her phone message, but it went through. I got her phone answering thing. So then I says, "Okay, I'll call Brother Gene, my preacher." So I said, Bluetooth, I said, "Call Gene." And it said, "Calling Gene Bridgman." That was the second time it worked. That's 2 in a row. But I got the preacher's voicemail. So then I'm thinking, who else can I call? Well, in my mind, my go-to guy is my cousin Pete, brother in Christ. But Pete was in Tennessee. He'd gone up there for his daughter's wedding. And I says, "Well, I'll try him. Maybe he can think of somebody I can call to get me some help. I figured he wouldn't answer the call because he was probably up there hobnobbing with the rich and famous. I figured his wife Kathy was probably swapping recipes with Dolly Parton by that time. But luckily, or through God's help, Pete answered the phone and I told him what was going on. First thing Pete says is, "Don't move." And I'm looking around like, well, yeah, I'm sitting here under this pecan tree. I don't think I'm going to be moving anytime soon. He says, "I'll get you some help." So a few minutes later, he calls back and he says, "I got in touch with Brother Jesse." Now, Jesse is our sound man in the church and one of the greatest people there is. And apparently, he put his truck in warp drive because it seems like 2 or 3 minutes before Jesse is driving up in my yard. He gets out, comes over, and about that time, the preacher pulls up because Pete had called him and gotten him on the phone. So Jesse comes over and he says, "Okay, I'm going to pick you up." Well, I'm worried about Jesse's back because he's had trouble with his back and his knees. And I said, "I don't want to hurt you trying to pick me up." Jesse says, "Don't worry about that." He said, "Look at here." And I look over, and if I'd have had my camera, I would have taken a picture. Here's this fella over there doing knee bends to show me that his back and knees are in perfect shape. He has no problem picking me up. So I said, "Okay, we'll try it." Well, Jesse comes around behind me, picks me up so fast, I thought I was going to have to climb down out of the pecan tree that I was sitting under. But we got up, and I got up and got straightened out and everything, and walked around a little bit, and the blood was still running some. Every time I'd move, it'd start bleeding again. So the preacher got me a towel, and Jesse took me to the VA hospital in Montgomery, which is about 30 miles away, and where I got treatment. The VA doctors took a look at me and fixed me up and put the stitches in my head and bound up my shoulder and my hand, and I came back home. Now, this whole story has to do with the fact that this Bluetooth, which normally did not work at all, worked 3 times in a row. The only thing I can say is God worked my Bluetooth for me. I asked him for help, and he gave it. Right then, I'm assuming he thought that was in my time and his time happened to match. And I give him all the praise, all the glory, and all the thanks for helping me that day. Now, I've tried to put a little humor into this, maybe, but very seriously, God answered my prayer that day. He showed me that when you're down and you don't have any other place to go, He's just standing there waiting for you to ask Him. So I thank God. And I thank you.